My name is Engineer Gabriel Iduseri. I was born in Oredo local government. At the same time, I went to school, my primary, my secondary school in Kogi State, St. Engr Primary School, and Abdulaziz Atta Memorial College, after which I came back to Benin. I did my tertiary education here in Benin, University of Benin. I'm a graduate of Electrical Electronics Engineering. I'm also a master degree holder, and I focus majorly on public administration. I'm a married man as of today with 4 kids and 1 adopted daughter because I love children a lot, but I decided I should have 4 and possibly get more to join the ones I have. I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I cherish nothing but God in everything I do, and I put Him first. And I believe He's the source of our strength, and that is why I have always put Him first. I'm a businessman too. I do business. I do telecommunication. At the same time, I'm also an importer, and I'm an importer of roofing sheets. I import roofing sheets, aluminium and stone-coated roofing sheets. I'm the managing director of Gabriel's Divine Technologies Limited. I'm managing director of Grand Doors and Ties Limited. I'm the managing director of Unique Building World, which is also into real estate. This is what I do for a living. And with this business, with these companies I've mentioned, I've been able to employ a lot of youth out of the street. I've been able to take off some of our youths who are today gainfully employed by our company, and they are doing well for themselves. I've also settled some of the youths who have worked with me over the years, and today they are on their own. They are doing very well, and I thought it right that for me to do better and be able to expand into other areas and reach as many persons that I can reach, I decided to go into politics. Recently, I go into politics, and the reason I went into politics was not because I really want to be a politician, but because I heard my pastor saying, Reverend Felix Omobude, I heard him saying, we can't leave politics for people outside, and we are here praying and complaining. He said, if we must get it right, he said we should go all out and register our INEC voters card and have your voters card, which is your first power, and secondly, join a political party. He said, when you join a political party, then join them to play the politics, so that by the time you also contest, you will be able to change certain things, which those we've been praying to change have not been able to change it. And I also come to understand again that the Bible also said that when a righteous man is in authority, he said that people will rejoice. And I felt a man who does not believe in God cannot make people rejoice. And I felt for us who believe in God, who trust God, who knows what principles of God are, it is good for us also to go into politics and go and make those things that are not right, make them right. Go there and then lead our people. Put a smile in the faces of our people. Let them know that politics can be done differently in the way of God. Politics without bitterness. This is what we want to play. We are out to change the narrative. We are out to put a smile in the faces of our people. We are out to make sure that our teeming youth, our hard-working youth are doing well for themselves, are able to get jobs for themselves, are able to come closer into politics and take their rightful place even in politics. This is why I have decided to come into politics. This is why I'm doing my best to run. And I know a lot of people around the town, around Oredo local government, around the state, Edo state, believe in me. They know the kind of person that I am. That ordinarily, without me vying for any position, I've always been who I am. I've always done my thing in the way that pleases the God alone. That's what I do. That's what I believe in. And I pray that God Almighty will continue to help us to do it right. The first time I came into politics, the first position I vouched for was local government chairmanship in Oredo. And after running for about 3 to 4 months of campaign and the rest, I was called upon by the governor, and they said I should step down because they already mounted that place for someone else, which I gladly stepped down, and I supported the person that was nominated by the governor to run. But little after that, I was called upon to take another position, which is senatorial youth leader in Oredo 6 local government. I did because I believe whatever position that is given to you, as long as it's coming from the people that you are going to serve, is a privilege. I took that for just about a few months, and later on I was called upon again that looking at what you are doing, you deserve to go for something higher. So I was given this South-South Zonal Youth Leadership position, which after the election in Abuja, the convention we did, I emerged a winner. And since then, I can tell you that since I came on board, we've been able to organize series of conferences. We've been able to organize series of seminars that we encourage our youth who are so scared of vouching for positions. We have been able to let them know that there is no position that is too big for them to vouch for. After all, we all know how old was Buhari when he became head of state. We all know how young General Ibrahim Babangida was when he became the president of this great nation. So I don't think any youth above 24 is too small to run for any position in Nigeria. I just believe that what you need is the determination to run, determination, and knowing exactly what you want to do. So since I got there, my other achievement is also that before now, I have not seen records of youth meeting with the president to discuss with him and been able to pass their messages to him. But in our time, we were able to organize, because we were 6 zonal officers in the whole of Nigeria with the national youth leader. With the cooperation of the 6 of us, we were able to carry all our state youth leaders and all the stakeholders in the nation to meet with Mr. President, and they all have one-on-one discussion with Mr. President. And today, because of that meeting, we now have a body that have been approved by the federal government for the youth. And at the same time, the minister, if you check today, the president, as a result of such discussions, now appoints youth below the age of 30, 35 into positions. Stella Okutete is one of the examples. He was one time the MD of Nezim Bank. How old was she? 30-something years old. A lot of them I can mention that today, as a result of that meeting with the president has begun to see capacity even in the youth, and they are beginning to appoint them into positions. Recently, before our tenure elapsed, we had 2 programs in Edo State. The first program was with all the stakeholders in the South-South, all the youth stakeholders. We invited them all to Benin City, where we had a meeting and deliberate on why youth should contest for positions, why youth should be engaged in politics. And today, if you check around all the wards in the party structure, we have a lot of youth. You see a young man becoming the ward chairman. You see a young man becoming the vice chairman. You see a young man, the chairman of a local government is a young man. He's a young man. The secretary is a young man. And today, even as a result of that position I had, I was able to organize another structure in the whole of South-South. We call it South-South movement. The South-South movement, number 1, was to educate our youth to let them know why they must come into politics. The second thing about that particular group was for them to be able to come together and unite and support even fellow youth like them whenever they are aspiring. It's not about money. It's not about how much you have. It's your determination and what you have upstairs, what you are willing to deliver when you get into that position. We have been able to educate them. So a lot of achievement as a result of my position in the South-South movement. With the South-South movement, I've been able to speak in several conferences to defend our people in the South-South. There was a day I passed a message to Mr. President in a conference in Lagos, and I told them that they should sit up and ensure that the judicial system of Nigeria is put in order, and our structure in APC should be organized properly to follow up with court cases. Our youth have been educated. Our youth are all clamoring to contest. Today, we have a lot of youth in Benin contesting for various positions. Senate, House of Rep, House of Assembly. I know a man who is contesting for House of Assembly today that is just within the age of 30. And I know he will do well if he's given the opportunity. So we have achieved a lot. And I believe by the grace of God, we'll continue to do more. Yes, I think whatever God has destined to be must be. I did not just choose to be a House of Assembly member because I want to, but because it is the will of God that I should go there. I believe by the time, by the grace of God, if the good people of Oredo West vote me into power, the first thing to do is to make sure we have a quality representation. I cannot go into that house and then begin to create issues upon issues. What we need to do is to look at what is on ground, what is in order, and what needs to be put rightly. And I think the best way to achieve or to work for your people is to have a good relationship with them and also have a good relationship with the power in authority, which is the governor, the deputy governor, and every other arms of government. Because if we must get things right, we must all speak one voice. We must work together. Because I understand that a house that is divided against itself cannot stand. So if the House of Assembly member must do well, then he must make sure they are all united. We must make sure that the governor, we are working in hand with the governor, we are working in hand with the deputy governor, we are working in hand even with the judiciary to ensure that the state is put in order. I believe when we get there, our main purpose is to enact laws that we ensure that our security system in Edo is put in order. Laws that will bring about development, infrastructural development. Laws that will bring about improvement in our educational system. These are things we are going to look back into and check them and ensure that it is properly structured. Then I'm also looking at a situation whereby when we get there, we also make laws that we also promote, skill acquisitions for our youth, our teaming youth, hardworking youth. These are things we look at. And I also believe that at the end of the day, the security system of Edo State will be stronger and better. These are one of the things we have in mind. And that is the reason we are going there, to ensure that Edo State become a better place for every one of us to live in. Yes, education. We are looking at the laws guiding the educational system in Edo State. I think we need to work more on that area, whereby our students, a lot of them, I was told that some of the schools are free education, but I think we can do more than that for our primary school and our secondary school. because there are a lot of parents who have children at home and cannot afford to even buy books. I think we can bring about a law that will ensure that this education, this free education, is given to our public schools, and also encourage some of these private schools that are around the rural area where we don't have, to encourage them. Maybe the government can empower the private schools to ensure that some of these students are brought into school. And at the same time, there should be free books for them to write and pen. This, I think, we encourage our youth, we encourage our children to pay attention to education and be able to do well even in the future. Yes, when you say multiple taxation, I will not say that the government have not done well so far, because recently I heard people complaining about multiple taxation, and recently some of the taxes were brought down together and merged together to become one. I'm aware of that. They harmonized those taxes and became one. And some other ones are still there. Because I'm a businessman, I know of what I'm talking about. A lot of them come to us, and then we are still having some issues. But with the experience I have that in the area of the taxation, I think double taxation should totally be eradicated. Should totally be eradicated. Because our youth, our business people need to be encouraged. Because taxation can destroy a business, a growing business. So I think something should be done in that area. There should be no double taxation when it comes to our people who are struggling to earn a daily living for themselves, especially our market women. They cry out every day, the money is too high, the money is too high. Whatever the tax is, they should also make it reasonable. It should be minimal enough for them to be able to cope with their business, knowing fully well that most of our business people are borrowing money from the banks, microfinance bank, and they have a lot of interest to pay. I think that should be looked into.